Can I tell you what inspired me to start a business? Here we go. By the way, I'm at home. So, what inspired me to create hair accessories specifically? Well, we have to go to the beginning. When I was 10 years old or 9, I started drawing clothes. I was sitting in my room watching an episode of That's So Raven, and I said, you know what? Let me see if I can draw clothes. So I picked up my notebook and attempted to draw something. Now, on the first try, I believe that nothing came to mind, so I just was like, And then suddenly, a picture popped into my head. Boom. And from that day forward, I drew clothes almost every single day, time and time and time again. And even though I was a little girl, I was very much so aware that, people could take what wasn't theirs. So I was keen on making sure I left my books at home in my room, safe and sound. But anyway, that brings me to today in my adult life, mid-20s. My life isn't necessarily where it should be as far as I'm concerned, but I am getting there. So I initially decided to start this business in, I want to say, 2023. I bought my LLC, which is actually easier than I thought. If I'm being honest, when I was a teenager, I've always, and I mean always, had this aspiration, this dream, this vision of seeing myself host my own fashion show with models wearing my clothes and just going all the way. Now, when I was 10, I kind of imagined having a store. It was up in the air. But soon after a while of getting my very much so real jobs, or real job, I honestly wasn't too sure about a store. Actually, no. It was upon hearing people talking about people stealing in stores, having to chase people out because they're stealing in stores. Excuse me if I'm a little tongue-tied, but I'm like, no, not for me. But thank God that people shopping online and, just doing a plethora of things online was becoming a very big thing. So by 2011, I was like, I want my own online store. I said, yes, that would be perfect. Now in my mind, I'm thinking I have to go to school for this, and I gotta wait until college for this, and all those things. But if I just would have known that, hey, look, all you need is an LLC, and of course, a plethora of other things behind it. Not saying an LLC is just what you need, but it is a very big thing that you need so that your business can be registered in your state. But I would think about it off and on. I would lie in bed thinking about it. And I just, for some reason, I never looked it up. Okay, there is a reason, but I'm not going to go into that. Let's just say I didn't think we would be here this long, but take that how you will. The next thing I want to discuss is actually, now that I think about it, here I am today in my mid or late 20s, starting a business, promoting it through social media, through content, on all platforms that I am assigned to or signed to have an account with. And the crazy thing is, when I was 17, I honestly was scared to get to social media. To review the full video, please head over to my YouTube channel, The Air Design, where you will be able to comment and subscribe and see the full business post there. Thanks for watching, TikTok. Wink, wink. So, there are plenty of layers to this story, and the reason why I was so afraid to get a social media. The church I was going to at the time didn't believe that, young people my age at that time should have social media. They felt like we were immature and we couldn't handle social media. Now, in my head, thinking logically, I'm like, well, you don't have to do bad things on social media, and it really just depends. I didn't agree that social media in itself was bad. I just felt like it really depends who's on there, who you follow, and just a plethora of things. But of course, there was still that little hold on me for not wanting social media. And I think people give social media a lot of flack, especially those who were born in like the 80s and the 60s and the early 90s, mid 90s too, a little, but not that much. Anyway, continuing on, so this won't be super long. I finally made opened my first social media account, which was Facebook, when I was 17. But here's the kicker: I didn't even put my picture. Matter of fact, I didn't even put my real name. Could you imagine me having a business today with no picture and no actual real name? For real. Being the age that I am, 28, think about if I really wanted to promote a business. No name, no face. Now, I will say I could get away with that if I make a great product that people just can't seem to stop viewing and buying. It could work. They'd be like, who is this girl? Who is she? What's her name? She doesn't have a name. Why doesn't she have a name? What is her business name? Oh, I found her business page, but I don't know the girl's name. Her face isn't on the website. It'll be a whole thing. I think it could work if you have the right people helping you with that, but all that mystique stuff, that's a lot. But I could still do it. Y'all know who I am right now, but anyway, continuing on. So, here's the thing. I was basically known as the more mature teenager. Mind you, it wasn't a lot of us at the church. Yeah, did I mention I got this idea from church? It wasn't a lot of us. It was kind of just a handful. The pastor and first lady's oldest son, and then me, a brother and sister, which of whom attended church with their grandparents, and that's it. Oh, and their daughter, Wanda, at the time. So, yeah, I was a little bit a little hesitant to get one. Also, I'm thinking, like, what if they find out that I have one and like it becomes this big thing? That's literally the kind of church it was. Or what if the first lady especially sees that I have one and now she's talking to my mom and then it's a big thing? Anyway, I said all that to say I actually am glad that I made that account, and honestly nothing happened. I didn't get contacted by any creep. No one was trying to snatch match me up through social media or anything like that. Like, and I'm actually glad that social media is a thing today because it gives people like me who want to start a business and live a dream a chance to live that dream and execute that dream all the way through. Not saying that it's going to happen super fast, but for some it can. It just has to be at the right moment, at the right time. So, and I'm gonna be honest, I've really been feeling this pull on TikTok to join this program, a specific program. One is called Creators Insight, and then I forgot the other name, but anyway, yeah, that's really it about my story. That is what inspired me to start selling hair accessories and get a social media. So I'm thankful that I had one, because if I had to start from the beginning, I think that'll be pretty hard. Anyway, bye. TikTok, YouTube, or wherever you're viewing from, Facebook. Love you guys.